I'm not bragging on this. I think I'm the first channel that did the Kai Havertz story. You know, I saw it coming in from credible sources. I put it up. Some Arsenal fans said, Rokani, you are lying. And now today, the biggest transfer gurus, that is David Austin and Fabrizio Romano, have gone ahead to confirm it after Jacob Steinberg and Matt Lowe in the morning went ahead to put up these stories. And even Nisa Kinsella, a correspondent of Chelsea for the Evening Standard, had really put out a story yesterday, though we really had an action-packed day that we never went ahead to do that story. But obviously, we had it yesterday, and obviously it looked like Arsenal had concrete interest into Kai Havertz. And guess what? An opening Kai Havertz proposal has been made by Arsenal to Chelsea today, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano and guess who? And David Austin. Welcome to this channel, Rokani Media Football. It's the Arsenal News Show, 100% discussing Arsenal. We've just gotten out of the story about Harry Kane to PSG, Leroy Sen making his decision to stay at Bayern Munich, and Jude Bellingham being announced as a Real Madrid player today. And now we are into the Arsenal segment. You know, we are only talking Arsenal. So the other story we are tackling into this episode, it's all about Arsenal player return date. David Austin has gone ahead to confirm to us that date. And lastly, we are going to have a look into Jack Wilshere and why he really found himself into a very hard career of his life. So let's see, close to 300 likes this time round smashed onto this video, and don't forget to really subscribe. And how do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is a place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this. Let's start up with Matt Lowe, the first person that really gave us an update about Kai Havertz to Arsenal in the morning, and he said clubs are unwilling to meet Chelsea's asking price put on Kai Havertz, which is around £70 million. Arsenal would be prepared to step up their interest if his price dropped significantly, while Real Madrid are unwilling to pay more than about £50 million. That is Matt Lowe. He's a Daily Telegraph football news correspondent. He's also a credible journalist. He first put up this story in the morning, and guess what? Jacob Steinberg from The Guardian also said Arsenal have emerged as a strong contenders to sign Kai Havertz from Chelsea. Real Madrid have identified the player as a potential replacement for Karim Benzema, but they could face competition from Arteta's side. It remains to be seen whether Chelsea would sell to the Gunners. That is it. Now, those are the first two stories we got in the morning, coming in from The Guardian, Jacob Steinberg, and Matt Lowe from The Telegraph. Now, people were really shaky and dubious about these stories, but David Austin has gone ahead to drop what we call a boom about this story. And this is what he had to say about the story of Kai Havertz to Arsenal. Now, he said, Arsenal have made proposal to Kai Havertz, pursue ramped up in recent days, contact with Chelsea and the 24-year-old. FC Bayern Munich also keen. 2 years left, so Chelsea ideally renew or sell. Arsenal planning formal offer to West Ham for Declan Rice. Now, that's what David Austin put up. And after David Austin, Fabrizio Romano also went ahead and posted. They almost posted in the same lag of time. He said, Fabrizio, Arsenal are in talks to sign Kai Havertz after positive contacts on player side. He's keen on the move. Chelsea want around £75 million for Kai Havertz. Now, Arsenal will not pay the amount. Madrid talks currently off. Arsenal's priority bid for Declan Rice soon. So, priority of Arsenal is known. They are going in for Declan Rice. And we've known that for a very long time, that this week we expect a proposal of Declan Rice to come in through as sub, because we know that Arsenal are really chasing in for this player. Now, let's discuss about this story. I broke this story and I've seen very many Arsenal fans, and I'm going to give you, there is a video I've recorded of Robbie of AFTV giving his reactions to Arsenal's interest in Kai Havertz. And by the way, most Arsenal fans are not welcoming Kai Havertz to Arsenal. But let me ask you one question. having Kai Havertz in the squad of Arsenal and not having Kai Havertz, what's better? I think having Kai Havertz in the squad of Arsenal is better. Secondly, you saw last season that Bukayo Saka looked like he was really off. In the last 10 games of the Premier League, Bukayo Saka was nowhere to be seen. You all understand that. Kai Havertz is good at playing into that position. He's a versatile player that can come in through at Arsenal and obviously playing very many roles. Now, he can play the Odegaard role because that's the role he used to play way back in Bayern Leverkusen, right? I think he was playing at Bayern Leverkusen down in Germany before Chelsea brought him in. Then he can play as a false number 9. You get? That is Kai Havertz for you. And he can also play as a left attacking forward where Gabriel Martinelli really plays. And when you look at his stats, this is the previously concluded season, he has played 35 games, scored 7 goals, and made 1 assist into the league. Champions League, 10 games, 2 goals. EFL Cup, 1 game, 0 goals. And you need to understand that Arsenal is looking in for versatile players, too, who are really experienced when it comes to the Champions League and the Premier League. He's a Champions League winner, you know. He has won the Super Cup, and he has won the World Club Cup. Arsenal fans should understand the reason as to why they are getting in this player. Getting in a player that Real Madrid is also wanting, it shows you the quality in this player. And for Mikel Arteta, we are told that the right forward they want should be able to play as a centre forward. That means Arsenal are not willing to sign a centre forward, and they are willing to stay with Gabriel Jesus, Edin Ketia, and add on a player who can play as a centre forward and play as a right attacking midfielder or a right forward where Bukayo Saka plays. Guys, when you look at Bukayo Saka at Arsenal, he's having a lot of freedom. He doesn't have a competitor. Even when he has 10 bad games, he has no player to come in for him. And the problem that Mikel Arteta faced this season was, or the previously concluded season was, he lacked quality off the bench, and however much he had some players on the bench, he never trusted them. He trusted just a few, Jorginho and Leandro Trossard. You know, even Reece Nelson, he doesn't trust him because if at all he trusted him, there are certain games where we're going to hate to start him, but he never. So, if you're having Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz competing for that position, I think that adds a little bit of squad depth and quality into that Arsenal side. If Kai Havertz can come in and Arsenal get you 10-15 goals a season, good addition. And that's what Arsenal is missing, because when Bukayo Saka spent some good games out scoring goals, Arsenal was really suffering, and Martin Odegaard single-handedly lifted that team until when he reached an extent when he couldn't do that any longer. To add more to that, the other reason that came to my mind when I say Arsenal sticking a lot onto Kai Havertz is simple. Kai Havertz is a Premier League proven player. Arsenal fans have always wanted to bring in Moussa Diaby, but Mikel Arteta is weighing in on both sides. Moussa Diaby, good player, playing in the German Bundesliga, lacking Premier League experience. He's not a winner. Kai Havertz is a winner. He has won the Champions League. He has played in the Champions League for multiple occasions. He has led Chelsea and is the player who scored that goal that really won Chelsea the Champions League when they're beating Man City in the May or June of 2021. He's Premier League proven. You might bring in Moussa Diaby and it might turn out to be a transfer like Arsenal did for Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira, fantastic player, but it has taken him 1 full season to fit into the league. But getting into a player like Kai Havertz, who is Premier League proven and he knows exactly what this league is all about, is far much better than risking onto Moussa Diaby. That's it. Why? They are almost the same amount of money. 60-70 for Moussa Diaby. So I really understand what Mikel Arteta is all about. And that's why you see to it that most of the targets that Mikel Arteta is focusing at are in the Premier League. He knows that he doesn't want to bring in a player who needs a lot of time to pick up. That's it. He needs to get in a player who is Premier League proven. That's why he's in for João Cancelo, Premier League proven. Declan Rice, Premier League proven. Moise Caicedo, Premier League proven. Kai Havertz, Premier League proven. And Mark Goichi on the right side of the central defense, Premier League proven. All his targets are into the Premier League. He doesn't want to go elsewhere to bring in players that aren't Premier League proven. And that's exactly what he should do, because they are not having a lot of time for the season to resume, because the Premier League fixtures are getting out tomorrow. They'll be having only 1 month of a preseason, and then they'll be playing into the Community Shield at Wembley on the 5th of August. So he doesn't have time. If at all these players had ended this season around the 12th of May and they had gone to the preseason from the 12th of May to the 12th of June, that is 1 month, and they had come back around the second week of June, and they would have got from 14th June to 14th July, almost 2 months into the preseason, then Arteta would have gone ahead to aim to bring in foreign-based players. But he knows what the Premier League is all about. Some players struggle to fit into the league, and players from the German Bundesliga don't have a huge record when it comes to fitting into the league. Sancho, which other players? There are some good players, leave alone the Haalands, have gone ahead to really hit the ground round. Those are the few that have come in through and over hit the ground. So I would like to really give Arsenal fans the positivity of Kai Havertz. When you have Kai Havertz at Arsenal, you're 100% sure that you have quality in your squad. He complements Bukayo Saka, and if at all Gabriel Jesus gets an injury, you'll understand that you can either use Kai Havertz or Edin Ketia to lead your line, and that's what Arsenal has been looking for. And I think who reported that story? Was it Charles Watts? That Arsenal looking in for a left attacker who can play on the right side where Bukayo Saka plays and can lead the line. And chance has gone ahead to befall Arsenal that Kai Havertz is really available. And remember, before he even came in at Chelsea, Edu was really tracking this player, and it has come out that Pochettino Mauricio is not interested in the player anymore at Chelsea, and they need to cash him out. But Fabrizio Romano concluded onto the story and threw in something else about Kai Havertz, and he said the following, that more on Kai Havertz, sources feel that Chelsea could be flexible about price tag after initial 75 million request considered too high by Arsenal. Players keen on the move, it could help Arsenal in negotiations. Real Madrid won't pay £50 million for Kai Havertz as for now. Now, you tell me that Kai Havertz is going in for £50 million from Chelsea to Arsenal. I give it a very huge thump. Give it a very huge pass, because he's a very good player. And I think his talent has been so much sabotaged by what has been happening at Chelsea. Changing of managers. Frank Lampard brought him in 2019. Then he was sacked. Thomas Tuchel came in through. Thomas Tuchel got sacked. After Thomas Tuchel got sacked, there came in this Brighton guy, Graham Potter, and Graham Potter too got sacked. So as it stands, it's really ugly, and you understand no player can pick up, and he's still a young player. No player can pick up in such a situation. When you look at Kai Havertz, he's still young, and Mikel Arteta believes he can go ahead and obviously get a lot out of him. 24 years of age. Obviously, he made 24 this month on the 11th of June. So it shows you that the player in Kai Havertz is really ready to go on and retry a new challenge, and Mikel Arteta is good at improving players. Look at how he improved Granit Xhaka last season. Now, if he improved Granit Xhaka and took him to the next level, don't you think Kai Havertz is getting a second chance to really revive himself into the player that we saw way back in Germany? I think this move of Kai Havertz to Arsenal is far much better than that of him going to Real Madrid, as at Arsenal is going to come in through, and obviously Mikel Arteta is going to nurture him into that team. And obviously Kai Havertz is a very good player that will score you goals and obviously get you what we call assists. He's not a selfish player, and he has a very right mentality to come in and compete at all fronts into the Premier League. Now, let's go to David Austin again, confirming to us about Mikel Arteta. He has told us that Mikel Arteta's players return from the summer break in the first week of July. Arsenal would like to strengthen the squad by then, but if not, then ideally they will have done so before leaving for a tour to the USA on 16th July. So Arsenal are leaving for the tour 16th July to America, and Mikel Arteta would have loved to see all his squad here. He wants to sign all his players to arrive early enough. That's why they are going in for Declan Rice early enough, and they want him to put pen to paper, I think, before the end of this week. And a bid is really imminent for Declan Rice to Arsenal. So he wants his players to arrive first week of July to train and really get ready for Man City on the 5th of July. And Kai Havertz is among now the list of Arsenal's gonna hate to blossom, because all the targets that Arsenal have been hooking in for all positions have been known. Right-sided centre back, right-sided centre back, Mark Guewichi and such a boy. For the right back, Yao Cancelo, Ika Gundogan, central midfield, Declan Rice, and Moise Caicedo. All those are central midfielders. And the most big position that we've always gonna hate to talk about, that is the right forward who plays with the left foot, has always been a huge question. And finally, we know that answer. It's now Kai Havertz that Arsenal are really looking at to go in and bring him in and obviously attack and obviously compete with Bukayo Saka. That is it. Now, let's go to Jack Wilshere, as we call it, quits onto this video. Jack Wilshere was onto the Ben Foster podcast. This is what he had to say. He said, "My first injury was my worst. I paid the price a lot for that. It was my right ankle, the talus. I fractured that. I was 19. 6 years later, I went back to see the surgeon, and he was like, 'Oh, you are still playing.' So it's the worst injury he's ever gonna hate to get in his career, and he's gonna hate to reveal it to Ben Foster, and that is Jack Wilshere for you. So guys, your thoughts onto Arsenal making an opening proposal to Chelsea for Kai Havertz are really welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Kai Havertz coming to Arsenal? And I would want you to base it on the quality that you have at Arsenal, right? And the quality that you're bringing in. He's a quality player. And what do you make about Arteta wanting his signings at London Conley before they fly to America on the 16th of July? And lastly, what do you make about Jack Wilshere and the worst injury he really got at the age of 19? So, Rokani David remains my name. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God see you through this evening and talk to you later in the coming hours. I'm out. Ciao, ciao, my mate.